everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm so glad you clicked on the video. Today we're shaking things up. We're gonna and we're gardening at the same time. I don't know if that's possible. But we are creating with some Waffle Flower Crafts items from their latest release called Green Thumb. We have the seed packet, which just makes a fabulous focal point. And you know, these make amazing gift tags too. So if you want to give your neighbor maybe some seeds with a little plant, a little marigold, I think that would be so cute. Oh, and by the way, this is a 5-step card. So this is going to be part of my focal point. And then on the seed packet, we're going to turn it into a shaker. Okay, very easy to do. I'll show you how to do it. I am going to make a seed packet that has some icons on it. This is the Seed Packet Icons die set. It has cabbage, strawberries, peppers, there's pansies, or these could actually be violets too. And then you have some cucumbers or squash. There's some peas, and then there's also carrots. It creates cute little icons to put in the center of your seed packet. Okay, we're going to use the pansies today. I'm actually going to get those out because we're going to use those. Okay, and then we're going to also add a couple butterflies. Break out your butterfly die set. If you don't have one, this is a great one. This is the Postage Collage Garden Critters. It has 4 butterflies, 2 side views, 2 front facing, and then there's some dragonflies too. 2 side views and then 2 front facings in different sizes. They're like the perfect size to add to floral cards or seed packet cards. So we're going to do that. Add some butterflies today. And then I do want to add a little bit of greenery since the icons don't have any leaves. I'm bringing in this die set. I'm just using this for the greenery, but if you have a leaf die, you can break that out and add it to the pansy here. But this is called Happy Herbs. You have the little potting soil where you can plant some herbs. And I'm going to add parsley to my pansy. Okay, I'm actually growing a garden this year. I have no luck. I do not have a green thumb. I'll show some pictures here. But I wanted to grow some herbs, so I planted sage and parsley, and I even planted strawberries and spinach. My spinach is not doing too good. And then I also planted some romaine lettuce. And so far, so good. Just a little bit problem with the spinach. But I'm rambling and we want to make a card. So I'll stop and we will jump in with step 1 and create our focal point. We're going to do lots of images for a focal point. It's going to really be the star of the show is the seed packet. So let's make the shaker first. It's very easy to do. I'm bringing in 2 shades of cardstock. I have Spellbinder's Fog and then I have white. What we're going to start doing is die cut out the main seed packet here with fog. I'm also going to cut it out with the white along with this top piece and then this little bottom piece. Okay, so we have 2 backings and then we have the top pieces. This is going to be the back of our shaker. Okay, and then the top piece, we need a window in it, so that's where the circle die comes in. So those are we don't need the inside piece. We can put that for another card, but that's all we need to create the shaker. And I'm going really simple with it. We're just going to add a piece of acetate behind the window here. Lovely. Now we have the bottom layer that just layers right on top here. Then we have the top layer. We just layer that right on top. Okay, and I love how it just continues. I'm going to flip this over, and we're going to put foam tape behind here. What I'm going to do next is we're going to fill up our little shaker. Now I have lots of seed beads. This is my little seed bead basket, or shaker beads. I know Doodlebug has some pretty amazing ones. You can use those. But since this is a seed packet, I have black seed beads. If I can find some black seed beads, I'll list them below. But I think these will really look like garden seeds. You're not going to see very many of them, but you can hear them. And then I have, let's see, I have some clear ones that we're going to use. We'll add some clear ones in here too. So we have clear and black. The clear is actually going to spread out the black so it just doesn't look like a blob of black. That's what the clear is going to do, okay? And I only used 1 layer of foam tape. Okay, so they're going to shake, but not shake big. I'm going to take the bottom piece, flip it over, and then we're just going to layer this right over the top, lining up the hanger portion on the top. We just press it down. And there we go. That is my seed packet. You see how the white or the clear kind of spreads out those black ones? That's a part of my shaker. Now we need to put some flowers on top of it, or if you want to put cabbage or carrots, you could do that. Wouldn't that make a cute little tag? So cute. Okay, to create our flowers, we're going to take our pansy, and then I'm also going to take, we're going to die cut out parsley with my Spellbinders peridot. And then I have the flower that we're going to cut out with white cardstock. We're just going to do a little bit of ink blending for today's card. Okay, and I'm actually going to create one, but I'm going to create another one off of camera. Okay, we're going to do ink blending next, and I have 2 different shades of purple. I zoomed in. I have amethyst and violet. I'm going to take I'm using my background blenders from Waffle Flower because, believe it or not, if you use a larger blending brush, for me, I can get more of a softer blend. This is a layering pansy. So what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of my amethyst on one side, and then I'll do the other side, and then maybe a little bit here on the smaller piece. I'm not going to worry about that very inside piece because that's what we're going to add yellow to. Lovely. Next we're going to bring in our violet, and we're going to add a different color of purple, but on the opposite side. I love these 2 colors together. It just makes a gorgeous flower. I'm not going to add any violet to the smaller one. Okay, that's the ink. We're going to use these 2 for our butterfly, so I'll keep these out. And then I have my zest ink. I'm going to add zest to the inside portion of this, but for this I do need my shader brushes. So I'm just going to add a little bit. We'll just pick up a little bit of ink, and I can add some yellow here. And that's all we're doing to the inside piece. And then I'm going to use my Perfection ink, which is a green ink, and we're going to add some ink to our leaves. Pretty easy peasy. Now to layer the pansy, I am going to add a foam square behind the second piece here for a little dimension. And then this goes layered right over it, like so. And then I'm going to add a little glue, and we can add the center here. And there is our pansy. And then our leaves. Now while we have a messy craft desk, I'm also going to color in some butterflies. Okay, so that's where our PC Garden Creators comes in. PC means Postage Collage. Okay, I'm going to take the 2 butterflies here, and then the base. I'm going to cut out the butterflies with white cardstock, and then the base of the butterflies with black. Okay, so the same way, we don't need the yellow, but the same way we did the flowers or the pansies, we're going to do on our butterflies. I may just get away with using the leftover ink here that's on my blending brush or on my craft desk. So now we have butterflies and pansies. I'm bringing in some solar spray next, okay? We're going to add a little shimmer to these with my Simon Hurley solar spray. I'm just going to shake it up really good. Sometimes it likes to settle on the bottom, so if you shake it up really good. I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer here, so we're going to do some spraying. It doesn't look like I did anything, but I hope the camera will pick this up. It's on release paper, but you can see the sheen. It does have a really pretty sheen. Okay, lovely. It kind of glows. So we'll let this dry along with our leaf. Put this with our seed packet, and this is going to be our focal point. I'm going to move on to our next step, which is step 2, and that's creating our home panel. Home panel is going to be very simple, very, very simple. We're just bringing in a stitched rectangle die set. I love the Waffle Flower's A2 stitch rectangles because it creates positive and negative, so there's no waste with your cardstock. So whenever I do use these, you see it's not double stitch lined. Your lines will just have one stitch detail, but you'll have 2 panels. I like to center it on my cardstock, and then I run this through my die cut machine. And then this is what it die cuts out, 2 pieces. So you can see the frame has stitch detail. I can use this on another card, but for my home panel, we're just going to use this piece. So this is the second to the largest with the A2 stitch rectangles. Put that with my seed packet, and then we're going to move along to our next step, which is our greeting. We are going really simple with our greeting today. This is the Green Thumb Sentiments. This is the matching set, so I have the coordinating die, and I'm just going to stamp Love Grows, small greeting. Just put this on an acrylic block. Grab some cardstock. I'm going to use my VersaFine Clair. Try not to get too heavy, and I'll just stamp this. Wow, that turned out really good. Okay, and then there is a coordinating die set. I'll take the coordinating die and we'll just cut this out. And that is all there is to my greeting. So this is going to go with my seed packet. Okay, I'm going to move along to our next step, which is step number 4, and we're going to create our background. Our background, we're going to do a little bit of ink blending on an A2 panel of white cardstock. I'm going to use the same colors, not green, but I'm going to use these 3 colors, and just going around the edge. Only a little bit of it's going to show here, so I'm just going to go around the edge. And we're going to add a little bit of color. So first we'll add amethyst. I don't want it to be heavy, so we're just going to go light. And I'm going to go in a triangle set, kind of a triangle pattern. So basically 3. And then we can add a little bit of zest. No. Then we can add violet. When you do this, you want to make sure that you leave some white areas for the yellow, because yellow and purple mixed together doesn't make a very attractive color. Now, we're not quite done with the background, but it matches really pretty with this, right? But I do want to add some print back here. So in our Green Thumb Sentiments, there's the piece for the card. It says, I may not have a green thumb, but my paper flowers are my superpower. I just love that. I love the font. So I'm going to take this, just put it in an acrylic block. Okay, I'm using Memento because it'll dry faster. And then I'm just going to pick up some ink, and we're going to add some text all over our background. And I think that will work perfectly. And again, this is going to cover this, so we really don't need that much text. Okay, I'm going to take this panel and I'm going to secure this on top of my card base, and that's all we're doing for our background. Okay, now we can add our layers. So I'm going to take my home panel and we're going to layer this right over the top. And then before we add our seed packet, I'm going to bring in some twine. So technically this is step number 5. It's time to embellish. Okay, let's add, I'm going to wrap it around 3 times on the left here. I think 3 times is perfect. And then I'll tie a bow up towards the top here. Now we can add our seed packet. And I'm going to place the seed packet kind of wonky right over our home panel. Now we can add the rest of our elements. Let's add our flowers here. I'm going to overlap them in the center, like that. Lovely. And then we have our parsley. I keep calling it parsley, but I think it's really cute. Okay, let's We'll trim the main piece off here. We're going to trim our parsley into, we're just going to do a little trimming with our parsley, and then we'll tuck this under our pansy as if they were leaves. Add a little greenery. But again, you don't have to use the parsley. You could use really any kind of leaf flourish that you have, okay? But I think 3 is all we need. And then we have our butterflies. Let's go ahead and add these. I did put foam tape behind the butterflies, and I'm only behind the center so we can pop up the wings here. We'll add maybe one over here. Okay, and then we have our greeting, and I'm going to put the greeting right over here on the bottom. Next, I'm going to bring in my memento marker. You have a fine tip Sharpie, you could use that. I'm going to add some little dots to my pansy center. And then I'm also bringing in my glazing glue. Glazing glue is like a glossy accents. If you like glossy accents, you can use that. But this is a little bit thinner than glossy accents. And I'm just going to go over the butterfly body here, very lightly, just so it shines, kind of like the seed beads. And then that finishes my card today. I don't know if you can see that sheen, but it sure is pretty. I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration. I did create another variation of this with pinks, and I'll show you a picture of that right here. So really any kind of color combination you have would work. So many fabulous fun items over at Waffle Flower. I'll list everything in the description area down below, but thanks so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.